find time this Friday to at least do one session of the game. How much is it?
It's not this Friday, dude. It's next Friday.
No, it's next Friday. You're right. Hopefully, I'm less sick by that point.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Thank you. Repo changed their cover art. Thank God. It's only $10. Steal.
I heard somebody else talking about Repo too. Oh, okay.
Repo's
I know what
ridiculous.
this is.
You're in the same Discord channel, dude, so it's probably us.
Yeah.
No. I mean, at work, somebody was talking about Repo. And
I mean, cross my fingers for Rico, but yes, Rico.
Yeah.
No, that's just called. What's the incremental stoner game that people are playing right now?
Schedule 1.
Schedule 1.
There you go. I've never played it, never seen anybody play it, but I know enough about video games to know that is the game that everybody is playing right now.
Yeah, it's like the hot streamer game right now. I love incremental games, but I'm not. I don't think I want to play a game called Schedule 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty good without playing that one, to be honest.
Hey there, Favour.
But yeah, this is Bill's fault, by the way. Like 100%, this is all Bill's fault, because we finished playing Lethal Company, and he was like, "Yo, check Steam," and I looked, and it was like, "Hey, Bill's giving
has given you a gift."
Yeah. And I was like, "Okay, I guess we're doing in 2 weeks' time. It's repo time."
There you go. Okay, are you guys ready to start recording? Or start doing the thing?
Well, I mean, we already did that a lot, so you know, I'm hoping that we've been recording. Did you start Craig this time, or did we forget? Because I'm not seeing Craig. Are you sure? I'm not seeing.
Craig's in the list. You got
okay, yeah, there's 4. I see Craig's 4. Yes,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Little bear, buddy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your very under the weather host, Boston, joined as always by Moonpeer.
Hi. Yes, the giggles of Pharaoh isn't chat's fault. I'm just going to say that.
That's right. Surgery. Also joined by the Nymph.
I think at this point I'm like special host, special part-time,
returning special. Like at the end of the credits, it says, and also featuring the Nymph.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
was in for a scene. Yeah.
Yes.
Voice A.
That's right. All right, let's put a quick plug here for our Patreon over at e1m1.cash.
Those ones are the numbers.
$5 a month is recommended here. Gets you exclusive access to the Outcast, uncensored exclusive episode where we're talking about all of our weekly adventures. Had a lot of them this week. You should check out that episode. That's a real good one. You get early access to We Rogue Like It and Critical Misses. You get exclusive access to Critical Misses production meeting. The season 37 one should be up in the feed in the next couple of weeks. And you get exclusive access to The Wayward Sons, the supernatural TV show watchcast that Moon and the Nymph are going through. All of that and more, e1m1.cash.
Ones are numbers.
Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
I just found this card on my desk.
It is a picture of a sub sandwich with eyes and a smile that says, "Did you ever know that you're my hero?"
So, I'm just saying.
The dad jokes expand.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'm going to a quick rundown here.
Okay.
Who else has played Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Sadly not.
Did you say yes or no, Nymph?
Yes.
Okay.
It's about the only thing I've really been able to play.
Actually, we'll cover that one last then, since it's like the only thing you've been able to play.
Scribble it out of my list.
We'll start with Lethal Company instead. Yes, it was Lethal Company week. It was fun. It was crazy. There was Gokus and Master Chiefs and Saber-Rots and lots of variety of other people running around and doing crazy things. I just have so much fun playing that game. Like, it's hard to overstate how much fun I have playing that game with the crowd of people that we play it with, where we all kind of just don't care. And we all just, we all just get along really well, kind of thing.
Well, and also,
even if it...
You're going to have fun with I like this kind of subgenre of like horror comedy games where it's when things go
Yes.
wrong is because something scared you and you walked backwards off of a cliff and you died and your mic cut off halfway through. No. And then like everybody laughs and like also we're all gonna die. That was a great run.
I was say
Yes.
that's the best kind of coping mechanism, because either you have somebody crying on a microphone because it's scary, or
Right.
you have, like me, my first time playing, as I get picked up by a Titan and I'm giggling the entire time, and then my mic gets cut halfway
You're
through,
so
and that
strong.
and that seemed more scary to everyone else playing at that time. There was
Right.
like, why was he giggling like that? What was going on? It's
All you hear is the crunches, the
Yeah.
delicious crunches as you get eaten. We ran into a whole bunch of new monsters that I put in for reasons, including one called the Locker.
I don't like the sound of that.
It's a locker.
Just like a high school locker, like
is it a mimic?
It's like a high school locker, except if goths designed it.
okay, so a high school locker.
No, proper goths, like the pinhead goths, like where it's all covered in chains and little metal dangly bits.
Heck yeah.
And it runs in a straight line
Mm-hmm.
with a giant grinding noise.
I love everything about this thing that you've described so far.
And then it takes you to the forbidden realm that box takes you to. I haven't seen those movies, mate. Don't come at me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Narnia.
Yes.
Yes, it takes
Yep.
you to Narnia.
Uh-huh.
And it's loud and scary and terrifying and hilarious all at the same time, exactly like this game generally is. But yeah, the Goth Locker is hilariously funny all at the same time. I think we had 5 or 6 of us, so we were all just running around going slightly crazy at one point or another, which is to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when Bill Safid is in the team and trying to steal the apparatus at every single time that he
Yep.
potentially can.
Our neighborhood chaos agent. I say that
Yes,
with love.
there may
Uh-oh.
have been several incidents with regards to shotguns,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm just saying that thing goes off all by itself.
I mean, it has a real hair trigger. You just look at it wrong, and one of your friends
Literally, you
gets murdered.
you put it in the shelf and people die. Like it's insane how much of a hair trigger that thing has.
Yep.
There was an incident that Bill Safid got a face full of lead, and it was all my fault because the shotgun was pointed in his direction when it accidentally went off. That's all I'm going to say on that
Don't
matter.
stand in the way. That's all.
No.
Yeah.
You don't tug on Superman's cape, and you definitely stay behind the guy in Lethal Company who has a shotgun.
That's right.
the way it goes.
The rules of life. Yep.
Yeah. He was also then promptly shot in the back of the head while Mimic was getting shot.
So nowhere safe.
Nope.
Nope. Like I said, don't stand in front of the person with the shotgun in Lethal Company.
Yep.
It's chaos abound every single time.
Oh my god.
But yes, Lethal Company is great, and in case you're not aware, which people are not going to be aware of, unless they look in the LFG channel, not this upcoming Friday, next Friday, we're playing Repo instead.
Yep.
And I have been putting Boston on blast in the Discord channel about how he said he would play when we played Repo. So
Yep.
I
I'll
have-
be there in a week and a half.
I have the receipts, I believe, as Boston, as a friend of the show, Rob,
I'm
placed.
going to play it. I'm there.
Mhm.
I'm for anyone listening. I'm not trying to back out. My message in the Discord was, "Okay, I'll be there," and everybody's like, "Well,
We'll
I have
see.
the receipts." It's like I already said yes. I don't. I'm not.
We'll
I'm not
see.
trying to be like,
We'll
"Well,
see.
I never."
You're
I
you're
didn't-"
you're a squiggly one, Boston. You're hard to pin down.
Yeah.
You're
I'm-
like a worm. Like you just constantly
These they're
like
getting
sideways
worse.
motions.
Every descriptor you get from me is
Serpentine
getting
motions.
worse.
I like how you're the squiggly one. Meanwhile, I haven't played in a while because I've been busy,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't been on the podcast a whole lot. But you're the squiggly one.
Right. Right.
Oh, 100%. He's the squiggly one.
Would you still love me if I was a worm, Moon?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
I think you are a worm. I just said
Yes.
you're a squiggly worm. Serpentine motions and everything else. Let's see. Other than that, hey Boston, shall we talk about CRDM3?
Yes.
And I don't know how I got that analogy, that thing. What's the word? Squish down words.
Acronym?
Thank
Yes,
you.
acronym.
I
thank
don't
you.
know how I actually said that acronym correctly. I
You
didn't
nailed
expect
it
to be able
first
to do
try.
so.
We're never gonna do that again.
It's 'cause
Never
you
again.
didn't think about it. You just
Yeah.
let it flow.
100%.
But
So-
now every time you're gonna think about it.
So this is Creepy
Yes.
Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3, the sequel to the hot Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 1 and 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boston, I have a very important question for you.
Uh-huh.
Is this a roguelike?
Man, I don't know. It's
It feels a
Is-
little roguelike-ish.
is that the question we're going to ask for every puzzle game we're going to play in 2025? Is this a roguelike?
It feels like a roguelike. You literally start the run again, Boston, with increased perks. It feels like a roguelike. It's a Metroidvania roguelike.
Yeah, Metroidvania roguelike. Yeah. I could get behind calling it a roguelike. I think, again, sort of like talking about blueprints, is that if roguelikes aren't your thing, don't let this game scare you off of playing it, because it isn't. It's more like a Metroidvania. I think of, you're going to go down this one pathway and you're going to realize you don't have something that you need to resolve the end of that pathway. You're going to go back to the bar, which is kind of your multiple hubs, and then you're going to try another pathway until you realize you can go down one path, or you get a skill down the third path that lets you go down the first one. So it's really more like that, but the way that the game presents itself is sort of like you're going to do a new run of these things in kind of a fun way.
Yes, but in doing so, you will have unlocked different skills that let you minimize / completely bypass encounters. Minor spoiler alert for the very first puzzle in the game. The very first puzzle in the game is you have to get over a gate.
Yeah.
So you play a match 3 game to get over the gate.
A gate that is incredibly locked, as the game says.
Yes. And when you go back to that gate the second time, you have unlocked a skill called Steel Shoulders, I think it's called.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you use that skill, which you can use at the very start of the battle, you just go straight through the game. You don't have to do the match 3 game. You can just go straight through the game or through the gate.
And there have been a couple of fights like that later on in the game where, because I have cleared the fight before, there's an option for me to just bypass it by saying, hey, if you want to go through this fight, you can, or you can just use this skill to just end the fight right now. Because, like, either you know how to beat the fight, because there's, like, storyline wise, there's maybe a trick, so you can just do that at the beginning, or you can use something different that you didn't see before, or you have a different item from another fight. And I think that's where some of my love of this game comes, of sort of like, well, of course you know how to fight this dinosaur. You fought him before and you found out here's a trick to beating them. So just do that. Yeah. I think that's really cool.
And like by doing this, you get like perks and skills and things like that, which are the things that let you move ahead or move different directions in the different storylines.
Yep.
How far are you, boss?
I think I just
hit chapter 2.
I think I just finished chapter 3 or started chapter 3. So I'm not too much further than you are.
I'm about to enter the world's worst room, apparently.
You haven't entered the hallway?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, I haven't. I haven't gone in that one yet.
That for me was when the game sort of took a turn for the better in the demo of like, oh, you're leaning all the way into this being a video game about making video games, and this video game has been abandoned. And it's just weird. Like the game has turned strange.
Yes.
And so now I'm past the point where I was in the demo. So I'm seeing all new stuff. The content of the beginning of the game is the same as it was in the demo, but there are quite a few quality of life things that are much better in this version. One of the best ones that I like is when you hit the end of a pathway, it very clearly on screen says, this is the end of a pathway. You can't progress any further past here. For whatever reason, this is the end of a, I think they call it a branch, like it's the end of a branch.
Yes.
And they put a big red X on the map now of just like, don't even, is that was some confusion I had in the demo, is like you'd get past a battle, like a match 3 battle, and you'd go back there and you're like, oh yeah, right, I need to know how to deal with this zombie T-Rex at the end of this pathway, and I don't know how to yet, but I just spent all this time doing 3 fights to get back to the end, and I now remember, oh yeah, that's the end of a branch at this moment. So that's a huge change of just like, you can't get past this yet. And I think that helps a lot.
That's definitely good, because it's good. It does give you that very distinct big cross.
Yep.
Like right at the end of it. So
Yep.
if that wasn't there before, that's a genuinely good little QOL touch up that they've done to it, which is great.
Yeah.
I did go back and redo a branch just so I could just choose the other option at the end of the dialogue. I ended up with an item instead of a perk, but that's fine. So much of a certain someone's social media feed makes sense now based on what I'm running into in this game.
Yeah, if you follow Zaliver Nelson Jr. on Blue Sky, which you really should, just to see him reacting to the accidentally positive social media gaffes he makes about the game, like when he told people to email the press email address saying, I know
because of a mod,
like, you know what I want, and
yes, and it was a mod that was going to lose functionality during the release of the game.
I think
and he's like, yeah, okay, I'll give you a DRM free version of the demo that is still that version and will still have that connectivity worked in with it. And apparently his inbox just got flooded with you know what I want.
It's really
go check it out. It's not a PG subject that we can talk about on this show. So that's why we're stepping around the subject matter in this case.
Right. But yeah, he has an incredibly funny social media feed, and every time a game comes out like this, you're like, oh, okay, that's why he was talking about going to clown school 6 months ago. Now I get it. Got it. It's all coming together now.
And like, he's head writer on most of the stuff he does for Strange Scaffold, is from what I understand. But I love the teamwork. Like, one of the team mentioned, like, yeah, let's just, minor spoiler alert, let's just pretend CRDM 1 and 2 exists and like talk about them as if they existed. And everyone got in on the joke and started writing their own fiction based on it. I'm pretty sure Unity made a post about it too.
I think so.
Which is just
okay.
Like, lean all the way into this. I mean, sure, why not? I guess fantastic, like, guerrilla marketing techniques that they've been using.
I feel like that's part of the reason why I like Strange Scaffold stuff so much. Let's do another plug here for the interview that Moon and I did with Zalavier a couple of months ago, after we played Clickholding for Game Club.
Clickholding.
Talked about mostly Clickholding, but we also talked a lot about how Strange Scaffold is a sustainable, works on sustainable development for their studio. I thought a lot of that was really interesting, especially in the face of so many studios just wringing every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears they can out of their employees. It's cool to hear a developer doing it differently and putting out games and putting out really great games. And I think this game, Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3, is as ridiculous as you would expect it to be from title alone.
Yep.
But it's also a really great match 3 game. Like I was talking about during the demo, how I don't feel like I'm losing battles because the AI for the enemies is too smart. Like, I don't feel like they see 7 moves ahead. And like we talked about,
they don't have the X-ray vision that sees the board off the top of the board, essentially.
Like we complained about it with, I think it was
Puzzle Quest
Puzzle Quest
and
2.
Marvel Puzzle Quest as well, I
Heck,
believe,
I
was
felt
really
that in
bad
the
for this.
first Puzzle Quest too. After you got to a certain
Uh-huh.
point, it just seemed like if you weren't on top of it 100% of the time, you just weren't winning against like the simplest creatures you were
Right.
fighting.
Like the pile of rats from Puzzle Quest 2 at the beginning was sort of like, how is this? How am I getting destroyed by a pile of rats? Like, I've only lost one fight in this game because things weren't going my way, and that was one fight out of 10, 12 at that point that I had done, and a lot of it was just the enemy would get like a 2 or 3 move combo and do really well, and then I would switch over and I would just have nothing, and I needed to get like X number of 5 different colors to do a move that would finish the fight, and I just couldn't get it going before they eventually just beat me. And it was a match I was supposed to win. I wasn't supposed to lose it. But I did that fight again and I won it the next time. So it's like there's going to be times where it's just going to be the luck of randomness, but I feel like that's not the majority. I'm not doing fights 3 or 4 times because this pile of rats just has the gift of foresight and can do a 50 move combo, and it kills me in one turn. Like that's never the option there. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and like it's written charmingly. Like the characters so far have been really well developed, and like this is the reason I'm suddenly very curious about Borderlands 4.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking that
didn't
too.
care about Borderlands at all. Like I tapped out after 2. I haven't touched 3 or any of the other stuff.
You're fine.
And then Zalavir comes out and is like, "Oh, by the way, I was one of the writers on this." It's like, "Oh no!"
And there's a lot of pretty good writers so far doing some stuff for Borderlands 4, which is interesting.
Yep, we will see. We will see.
Yeah.
But yes, I like this game a lot. I just wish I had more time to put into it so far.
Yeah. And I'm sort of expecting it to not be super duper long, because I feel like that's sort of been Strange Scaffold's MO, has sort of been like, we're going to put out games that we have developed in a way that's not going to burn anybody out, and this isn't going to be like an 80-hour Metroidvania. If I spend a handful of hours with it, I'll be happy. Because like every other Strange Scaffold thing, it's such a unique sort of singular game.
Yep, and correctly scoped, they usually are.
True. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going back. I need to be better about buying and using items in it, just like I am with every other game.
Ditto.
But yeah, other than that, the only other thing I played is Assassin's Creed Shadows Nymph. Why don't you take us away for this one? Because I need to know where you are before I can talk about where I am.
Oh, you could just say where you're at, but so I am so far 29 hours into the game. I'm in what area did I move into? Harima, whatever.
Okay.
It's to the northwest of where you start out at. When it comes to excuse me, when it comes to the group of people that you're trying to take out, the Shimba Kufu?
Bakufu, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
4 are dead, and I'm currently working on, I think I'm on the last leg of the quest to take out Ox.
Okay. I think
that's story-wise where I'm at.
Yes. I think I'm currently working on Ox, but I've also done this weird thing where I have so many circles on that page.
Dude.
Like, it's so many circles.
It's getting ridiculous. Because they'll just randomly pop up. I'll clear a castle, and I've had 3 of those circles pop up. But I have no
Just like you
guidance.
picked up a letter, and
a letter, or I killed
something.
somebody, or I listened to something, and I have no jumping off point for how to continue those circles. Yeah, it's just everything is a question mark. And there's just nothing to go off of. I'm like, then why is this here if I can't do anything with this?
Yep, because you found a clue. Like, that's the scariest part. So, I ended up having a very spoiler-free discussion with friend of the show Rob about this, where we were literally sending circle drawings to each other to see what we were talking about, kind of thing. It was like, okay, have you found this circle? Well, what about this circle and this circle? And like that's how we were trying to talk about the game without actually, spoiling any plot things that happens. I will talk about this briefly. I was doing a different mission as part of Naoe's story, and I went into a place where I was just about the right level for. It was like level 40. And so it's the one in the very southeast corner. It was like that area. So I was there, and I was doing a particular quest line which involved running a path, essentially. So I ran the path, and at the very top of the path was a person with a skull symbol. And literally, I snuck up on them, and if I tried to assassinate them, I did 1 bar of damage from his, 9 health bars. If I tried to fight him in combat, he one-shotted me every single time. And it just so happened that this path was at the top of a mountain. So when I respawned right before him, and he didn't have alert on me. So I very quickly changed to Yasuke, and then positioned myself in such a way that I could do the kick, the Assassin's Creed kick.
Oh, that launching! Oh my god, that thing is so powerful.
And I sent him flying off the mountain to his death. I got this is Japan actually achievement for doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And then when they open the thing, it's a big old circle with that person's face crossed off on it, and it just says at the bottom, unknown organization. What?
Yep. So stupid.
Like,
but that kick though, I've done that same thing where with like the alert bells, how they have like those tall stations with the bell all the way at the top. I chased somebody up the ladder, on one of those things to try to stop him from ringing the bell, and I did one of those kicks, and I kicked him so hard that he hit the bell, knocked off the bell from the thing, and went flying out of the castle because we were so high up in the air. It's just like, that is ridiculous. Meanwhile, if you do it on the ground and there's like buildings around, you can watch people like ping pong off of buildings. Where I've kicked them, they've come back bouncing off of a wall, and I already had another attack lined up, and I just shoved them back into the wall with the other attack. And it's like, this is stupid.
It's a really good kick. It's the same kick from Odyssey, Boston. This is Sparta kick that you got in Odyssey.
Did they wind up with their whole body and just kick them in the next week? Dude, it's incredible.
It's so good.
It doesn't help that Yosuke's
he's a giant compared to everybody.
Everybody else. So you can feel the power on that guy.
It's so hilarious. But yeah, I got so many circles. I'm not even kidding. I'm in the process of trying to do a quest that has seasonal based objectives.
Dude, I just got one of those too, where it told me to go somewhere, and I went there, and it's like, all right, come back in the spring. And I'm like, no.
The heck?
Yep. The one I've got requires me to wait until winter.
That's kind of annoying.
Because I think it's the same one that you are talking about is the same one I've got. In that circle, the one on the very southern one, the southern point of the circle, that's the winter one.
Oh, God. Yeah, because I have to go to a location. The other thing that's kind of a pain, I'm not going to give the location away, but it's like, hey, go to this certain area, but there's no marker there, and I wasn't sending a scout out, so I'm like, okay, and I looked out, I checked out the whole area, got rid of all the fog of war, no indications whatsoever that I was even in the right area, so I had to pull up a map online and be like, where is this at? And it's like, oh, it's on this tiny little part that somehow I didn't flag just right or something, so I went to that right there on that spot, and then the icon shows up, and that's when it's like, okay, you'll have to come back when the season changes. And it's like,
wow. Yep.
All right, so cool. Wasted a bunch of time on that one.
The way I figured that out with that specific circle was, if you're in the right area and then leave it, especially Naue. I don't know about Yasuke because I haven't played as Yasuke a whole bunch, but as Naue, she will say, "I'll come back later" when you've left the area. Especially if it's during the wrong season, I'll come back later. I'll come back later. I'll come back later.
Yasuke, I don't play as much, so I'm kind of at a weird point. I like how both the characters are different, and it seems like even if you max out their skill trees, they're not going to turn into the same type of character. Naoi's always going to be the stealth character that can do assassinations from the shadows. Yosuke will always be the tank that just busts through a door, and but I'm kind of at a point right now where I got into like this big castle, and I started out as Naue, and I'm looking at like all the guards and how big this castle is and all the items to get, and I'm like, I'm not.
And you just kind of want to go tank mode.
Yeah, exactly. So I just switched over to him because I'm like, I don't want to deal with the stealth in this right now. I just want to clear this castle, and that's
very
exactly what I did.
based. Like I've noticed that like I will play as Yasuke occasionally, but it's mostly when I feel like I don't feel like doing the stealth thing. And it's just like, okay, that's fine. Get alerted. Make me wanted. I will run into this castle.
That's exactly what I do. Any moment that I feel like it's going to turn into a scenario where I'm going to become wanted, I just switch over to him because it's like, all right, fine, bring it. Like, bring your whole army against me. I don't care at this point.
Yeah.
I have done the thing of, because I wasn't thinking, of trying to walk across the rope. That ended in failure.
I haven't done that yet with Yasuke.
It is very funny. I did do the leap of faith because I was playing as him and I managed to find a location. I'm like, okay, I want to see what this does. And yes, that was hilarious. But the rope was even funnier because, he got pretty far across the rope without me thinking about it. And then all of a sudden I hear the rope snap and he just falls.
Right. Absolutely wonderful.
Which makes sense because, like we were just saying, like the dude is a giant compared to everybody there. So it makes sense.
And he's also wearing stupid armor. Like,
he's like fully kitted out. Like the dude has to weigh like 400 pounds, 500 pounds. But I am slowly starting to kind of feel like a little run down on a bunch of the stuff that's happening.
Yeah. So my biggest annoyance with this was it's very much the Valhalla problem of the map's too big. It just is. It's too big. There's too much running backwards and forwards to try and do a whole bunch of things. So part of my problem was I was ignoring missions that were close to me because like I don't care. I'm just gonna I'm focusing on the mission I'm doing, very much like I'm focused on this game to get this game done so I can play something else.
Yep.
And that's not me saying this game is bad. I'm enjoying the time I'm playing with it. I'm just saying I don't want to start The Witcher 2 while I'm still playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. You know, it's that kind of thing. But I was doing the thing of avoiding missions that were close to me. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just been doing the missions that approach because there's a couple of like quest markers that will just show up on your map, and they're not full missions. They're just character moments between Yasuke and Naue. 100% you need to do those as soon as you see them because they're really cool character development. The one in Omni, which is northeast of you, is called Cloud Gazing.
Yeah, which is the next one I'm going to be heading to after I'm done here.
Like, so when you see just random quests show up, just go start them. Even if they're full-on quests and quest lines and everything else, if you don't want to do them right now, don't, but at least go start them. Because, like, I've bumped into, like, 3 or 4 now that have just been straight-up character moments between Naue and Yasuke, which are wonderfully done, excellently written, and they give, like, a good character development into both of the characters, which I'm enjoying a lot. Yasuke does seem a bit too perfect for my liking so far. Like, he does seem to be, like, the has never done anything wrong kind of situation, whereas Naue is flawed. She knows she's flawed. She admits she's flawed. She talks about it frequently. And I feel like her character development has been a little bit better than Yasuke's. But, like, they're so engaging when they're around each other, especially when you know that they're not going to try and romance each other by the end of the game, when it's just, like, two colleagues from different aspects of the culture who have come together because, things are bad. Real bad.
Because they have something in common a little bit. Because I've come across that with Jinjiro's quests.
His quests are so cute.
There's one that I just completed where he was asking Yosuke to help train him as a samurai. and he lays out how everyone fits like a certain family role.
Yep.
And lets slip about Yosuke. Yosuke's like, I'm real flattered about that, and it's like, okay, fine, let's train you up a little bit here. But I have, speaking when you had brought up about romance, there is a second character that I just unlocked, the thief character that I can summon now.
Is that the cocky guy who's got such an attitude problem?
Because
I hate him
this
so
game
much.
this game has romance options in there, which I forget about because it doesn't come up that much, but it came up a lot with him, and I did not like. I have no interest in doing any kind of romance in this game, especially with that guy. But...
Yeah, I have one person who's caught my eye so far, but I'm not going to say anything because that would be a giant spoiler.
Okay. Do they go into, like, do they give Naoe, like, the ability to choose male, female, or is it just... Okay. Because, yeah, that was something that I think I've...
The guy you're talking about, I absolutely despise him so much. Yeah, I hate him so much.
Almost swore, but yeah, I hate that guy. And then there was another guy that came up that I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but, like, I don't... In my mind right now, for Naoe, like, I think romance is kind of like the furthest thing from her mind right now because she's got things to do and she don't need no man.
Nope. She needs that revenge.
Exactly. Yep. But
100%.
I unlocked a thief, and then I've got a Ronin that I actually just had join me today. That I can bring on.
The flower Ronin? Likes flowers?
No, I don't think so. Okay. If he does, he hasn't said anything. But this is from Ox's stuff. It's one of the people that that ran away from him and fought him. Okay. So yeah, it's like the game still looks great. It still sounds great. It is just getting to that point, like you were saying.
So much of it.
Yeah, like with all the other open world Assassin's Creed game, it's like, okay, that's cool that you guys have made it this big, but like traveling is kind of tedious going to a new area. Especially doing it by foot, because you start running into the thing where it's like during the spring and summer times, like there's so much foliage that you can't see where you're going. You're always slipping down like a side of a rock or something, or getting hung up on a branch or some dumb thing. There's no easy way to climb up things in nature.
Yes.
And
which is something I miss the Assassin's Creed 3 tree tech, like when it was all about jumping through the trees as Connor.
Yep. That's a heck of a pull right there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because like that tree tech was incredible. Like that was great. Like
even
between the
Naoe,
V's and the branches.
Yeah, and she has a grapple hook, so like she could throw a line up to a tree up on the side of a cliff and climb up, or at least, you know, on a rocky ledge or something. Yosuke is like useless when it comes to terrain. Like he runs slow, he can't climb anything. His horse is bigger and I think a little faster, but like
I think so.
At that point in time, though, like if I'm traveling somewhere, it's going to be with Naoe, because then if I have to travel by horse, I'll set a pin, which this is one of the nice things. I can set a map marker anywhere, tell the horse to follow the path, and
then update. That's a game changer of an update.
Yeah, and that really helps.
That wasn't in the start, Nymph. You couldn't auto follow
Yeah.
Yes, you could not. It would not let you auto follow the thing.
I didn't use the horse that often. Like unless it was like stupidly far away. If it was below like 1,000 meters, like I'll just run there, because there's probably something between here and there that I need to find anyway. Right. So but
yeah, that auto follow it was put in the last patch, and it was just like, thank heavens it was.
Yeah, because it just makes it a ton more easier. But yeah, outside of that, like I'm kind of putzing along with it still, but I am starting to feel, and that's the other kind of crap thing too, because I was like, okay, I want to kind of start to mainline the story a little bit more.
You don't know what the story is.
Exactly. I can't
What is the main story?
And the ones that I do have, though, they're like level 36, and I'm 27 right now. So it's like I can't even do the main story because I have to grind to get to that level so that I can start doing them. So it's like and this is kind of what I started griping about a little bit when we first started playing this game. Is like I hate that they added the RPG aspect
elements
to this game in this way. Because now I'm also at a point where it's like I'm fighting like more elite soldiers and stuff that are more heavily armored, and it just feels like everything is just taking forever to take out. And if I'm not assassinating them, like, okay, I guess I'm in like this fight for the next 10, 15 minutes, it feels like, which may be a slight exaggeration of one thing, but there was definitely a castle fight with Naue where I was fighting one elite. And then all of a sudden it turned into, okay, it's one elite and 2 Ronins. Now it's one elite, 2 Ronins, and 2 other heavily armored guys that showed up. And like I'm trying, which fighting them wasn't an issue, but it's like I couldn't stay focused on one of them long enough to take them out. Yeah, so it's like I'm chipping away at each individual one. And it's like, even with the chain that I was using, it's like, this is taking forever.
It also doesn't help in that instance that like certain types of enemies in the castles can call in reinforcements, so they they'll hold up a little paper fan thing, and then people will just come running in from the sides, and it's just like, really, no, why?
Well, and those stupid generals with the paper fan thing, they can summon in, even if there's
the arrows.
If you took out all the archers, they can summon in like this firing point. Where it's like you'll see like this red circle start to expand. It's like, oh, you need to get out of there because these flame arrows are going to start to come in. And it seems like it does damage the enemies too if they're caught in it. It does. But it's such a pain when you're surrounded and you're trying to dodge out of there and you can't because Naue won't vault over anybody. You know, it's like I'm kind of vaulting around.
You can, but
when there's
you have to unlock
animation, It's just weird. It feels like I kind of got to a point where it's like, okay, this game doesn't do well with like group fighting. Like if it's me versus 10 other things, it gets weird. You know? And Yosuke, at that point, it's like, well, I'm just gonna bull rush these guys. Like no one can hold him in a corner. Like he's just gonna start kicking fools across the screen, and then hey, there's my opening.
I will say, like, there was a specific Yasuke mission that I did that involved another one of those circles on the objective screens. I'm not going to mention too much about it, but it was Yasuke specific circle. And there was like 2 or 3 combat encounters that I really struggled with because I was probably level 37 at the time. The people were level 37 too, but my gear was still level 20 something because I don't play as Yasuke. Yeah. So then I had to go to the hideout, upgrade my gear that I had to be like in line with the level that I was. After that, it was a cakewalk, but I was getting like 2-shotted by these people because my gear was like level 20 and I was level 37. And it's like, guys, come on, just give me like a gear cap at some point here, please. Just let me, give me a max out number where I can just not have to worry about leveling up all of the gear over and over and over again.
Yeah, because you can only level up your gear to your current level. Because I had the same thing with Naue, where like I was running around with level 18 gear and she was level 24. And because my assassination skill is so high, and I was just assassinating people like it wasn't an issue. God, the double assassination is so great, both in the air and on the ground. Like she just walks in between people and just stabs them in the throat and then just rocks them back. But because my assassination is so high, like I wasn't noticing that, I'm taking way more damage than I should be, and I'm not dealing as much damage as I should be because the assassination is still a 1-hit kill right now. So that kind of threw me off for a little. And it's not difficult, but it's like one of those things like you were saying, where it's like, why is this so hard all of a sudden? And then you start looking at your gear, and I'm like, oh, I've been neglecting the gear upgrade because why do I have to upgrade my gear?
Because I found that chest piece that, like, when you do an assassination, it will do a kunai assassination on a different person. I have not changed that chest piece since. And in fact, I have upgraded that chest piece with other engravings so that, and I can also engrave other ones with that one's chest piece. But I like I liked the way it looks. I really did like the way it looked, so I was sticking with that and then just using different engravings for different things on it. And then I found a white set of armor for Naue.
Ooh. Is it the peasant one?
No, it's a different set of white armor.
I threw on the peasant one, and I've got like the half mask that also happens to be white, and I'm like, man, she looks like really, really good in that in that armor.
Let's just say that this game also does have the this is new. I think this is also in one of the updates. You can customize the way the armor looks based on what you've unlocked.
Yeah.
So now I have my legendary body piece that I really, really like the skills of, and it's all decked out in white. White and red specifically, so it looks very appropriate for the character I'm playing.
Nice.
I found a hood that looks very appropriate for the character that I'm playing, so all of my hoods and all of my body pieces now look like that exact same piece of armor, because I just think it looks sick as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Now I looks cool, but Yasuke looks like the Grimace with golden armor on, because like his
dude, he has so much gold on my character. I don't know what it is with his armor pieces, but yeah, everything he has, his weapons, his armor, even his little talisman, it's just all gold. Like that dude could not. If it wasn't for the fact that he was already like 7 foot tall, he's just like so blinged out and shiny. Yeah.
Like the body, I got a piece for him, which again I'm probably gonna stick with because the legendary gear he's got, the special ability it gives is you can block unblockable shots. So those red charge up shots, you could parry them.
Yeah, I've got that too.
And it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep this because I like to parry and I hate doing the dodge thing in this game, so I'm just gonna do that instead. And that piece of armor specifically, all of his underclothes are bright purple. He's got like an outer armor of gold, so he literally just looks like Grimace wearing golden armor, and it's just like, okay, I guess I'm Yasuke Grimace from now on is my new goal, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still use the long katana with him and the Teppo, the long rifle. Because I didn't get any bows until just recently, and I didn't even know that was an option.
Oh yeah, the bow is super duper rare for him, it felt like. Now I've got like 9 of them, but yes. And then when you start, there's limited choice.
I just unlocked like that giant mace that he can, like I happened to get one of those finally. I haven't tried it yet. Called. Yeah. But like I had to do, because I was doing the kata stuff with him, which is just like the training where it's just a quick time event for you to hit the buttons, whatever, and then you get like a mastery point.
They give you knowledge points, yes.
Or knowledge point, yeah. And the last one that I did was the one for that giant mace, and it's like, man, that thing sounds like it hurts.
Oh yeah, that is the two-handed weapon from Dark Souls equivalent in this game.
It does a nice
big
thud.
Thing you swing at people.
Yep. Well, yeah, so I'm still putzing around with it, but I am starting to feel it a little bit where it's like, okay, like, let's just kind of move this along a little bit more. There's some stuff that I have been skipping a little bit on because it's like, I don't really care about that right now. But I've upgraded my thing. I think my hideout is like level 6 now because I've upgraded everything enough, so...
Yep. Keep doing castles, keep stealing stuff, and that just comes naturally.
Well, and I keep forgetting that I can go back out to like one of the satellite hideouts and like basically buy back one of my So I have 6 of them now, but it's like when I use them all up, I'm like, okay. Usually by the time I use them all up, it's time for a season change anyway. So it's like I get them all back anyway. Usually, I did also happen to notice, and this really tripped me up because I thought my game was glitching out, but I noticed if you go into like one of the satellite hideouts, your character's shoes will go missing so that they can be barefoot in there.
Every time you go inside, every time you go inside, the shoes vanish, so they're both bare feet inside.
Yeah, nice. Which was like kind of really cool. And then as soon as you run back outside, they have their gear back on, but. The game was just glitching out because I was like, that's weird. Never noticed that before. But I'm also never inside either.
I kept meaning to mention it, and then I totally forgot about it until you literally just mentioned it. It's like, oh no, it's every building. Nice. As soon as you're indoors, the shoes vanish. As soon as you're outdoors, the shoes come back on again.
I am still having an issue with the UI disappearing. Weird. Usually I have to save and then just load the game and then everything pops back up. But I've also been noticing too that if I just let it run for a while, all of a sudden it'll just like hit a load screen and then it's like the game is having issues catching up. And I was checking my computer too while it was doing that, because I'm like, is my computer just not able to catch up? No, like my computer's running fine. Like nothing. It's not even acting like it's like struggling with anything. Like everything looks normal. I'm not even close to maxing anything out. So I'm like, what is going on with this? So hopefully they get an update to fix that, because that's kind of annoying. It usually I'll only notice it when I'm trying to like do the eagle vision so I can see how many enemies there are in an area, and I can start marking them. I'm like, wait, where is my little dot, my reticle? And then I'm like, oh wait, the compass is gone, the UI is gone, I can't interact with anything again, I can't, do anything. It's like, all right, cool, let me refresh this. And so
yeah. I mean, at this point for me, I'm just gonna I'm probably just gonna speedrun the Shimbakfu and see what happens from there.
Yeah.
Mostly because I haven't got the achievement for completing Act 2 yet.
How many acts are there?
Great.
Just 3?
I'm assuming 3.
Okay.
But I don't have the achievement for completing Act 2 yet, and I am literally 70 hours in.
Jeez.
This is literally turning into Valhalla all over again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not even paying attention to like the Ubisoft achievements that I'm unlocking. Like I'll get a ding every once in a while for doing something. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And
you don't redeem those for a wallpaper pack?
Mm-mm.
That thing has just complete. You used to be able to redeem those points for enough like in-game currency to buy the map pack at least, so you can show me where all those chests are.
Right.
And now I
get,
can't
like, a
even
cool
do
weapon.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like they used to have like cool weapons or stuff. Like for Far Cry, you could get like a pretty decent pistol to start the game out with.
Yep.
And yeah, now it's like, oh, you want this wallpaper? I'm like, no.
I do not. Thanks for asking. Do you want the press kit? No, I don't. Thanks.
I mean, maybe a physical one, but I don't need to see.
Yeah,
I don't need to see an email that somebody got.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
I don't know, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've got on AC Shadows. What about you, Nimp?
Yeah, that's about the same for me. It's like I'm kind of ready to pick back up on the story. No, I do have one more game to kind of briefly touch on real quick. I was also playing. Oh boy, it's been too long because I haven't touched it this week. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. There we go.
Right.
This is just gonna be real quick, but last week, 2 weeks ago, I did finally get the Skell license, so now I have my own giant mech.
Oh, those are your mechs, right?
Yeah, which is really awesome. Because of how big they are, like your character barely comes up to like the kneecap of your mech.
That's cool.
And they jump so high and they kind of float a little bit. And the run is they kind of do like the mech cross thing of it starts to move a little faster and then it morphs into like a motorcycle kind of thing and it just starts driving. And then I know eventually I do unlock the flight mode. I think that's like another 20 hours or some dumb thing. But so, but the Skells use fuel. Oh, nice.
Which cat is that? Moon-mouthed Ray. Hi, Ray.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was exchanging cats. Louise wants to go out and Ray wants to come in.
But the Skells do have a fuel source that only gets used when you're in combat. Anytime you do a move or it attacks, it uses up fuel. It's not a ton of fuel that it uses up, and once you do step out of the mech, it will slowly start to recharge the fuel on its own. There's also items that you can use to refill it yourself, but I just let it recharge because if you leave the Skell somewhere, it also turns into a fast travel point, so that way you can get back to it. So there's been a couple times there's like, okay, this thing is down. Like I think the one that I have, the fuel maxes out at like 7,000 units of whatever measurement.
Right.
And gallons of smiles, whatever.
Right.
So it's like I had it down to like 5,000. I'm like, okay, I need to come back to this point for a quest. I'm gonna leave this Skell here and let it charge while I run off over here and do something real quick, and then I'll fast travel back, and then, it should be charged, and I can go back to using it. The funny thing is too is that so for the Skells have levels, and you can buy skills up to the current level that you are. So I just got everyone up to level 30. So now everyone has a level 30 skill that they can pilot because I bought a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
And they're stupid expensive. But it's really funny watching them run around because if anyone ever played Xenogears, if you remember when you were in your mech and how everyone just kind of crowds around and bumps into each other and walks through each other and stuff, they do the exact same thing here.
That's great.
And it's just stupid funny, especially when you get out of them. You'll pop out, and then the other 3 characters will try to like kind of half circle around yours, but it gets all messed up looking. So it's like you got them within each other, and they're all just popping out of like these machines randomly and stuff. And it's like, oh, I love this game. It's so stupid, but yeah. So I think I am technically further than I got on the Wii U version because I got around this point, but I think story-wise, I'm actually like 1 chapter ahead than what I had been before.
Oh, okay.
And it's fine. I just had to stop playing it because I'm already playing Assassin's Creed, which is one open world game that's taken up a lot of my time, and this is going to be another one that's going to be taking up a ton of my time. So I'm already starting to feel burnt out on Assassin's Creed, and I think it's just because I'm playing too many open world style games. So I think I'm going to give this one a break for right now and maybe focus on another game to kind of give me a little bit of a palate cleanser for Assassin's Creed. But that's all I played these last 2 weeks.
All right. My first one is Marathon. Full disclosure, Bungie has provided me with 3 keys for this as part of their creator program. So I spent yesterday going through and getting into the alpha that's running right now, and making sure that it works. And thankfully it did. If you haven't seen Marathon, it is an extraction shooter, which I haven't played any extraction shooters before, so you're gonna have to excuse me if I'm getting things wrong or I don't kind of understand the subgenre. But it's kind of like Apex Legends is probably the other thing I would sort of liken it to.
Okay.
Where you have...
Kind of looks like that. The menu kind of looks a mix between that and like a Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, Tarkov is kind of like the I think the most popular extraction shooter out there.
I think that and Hunt Showdown,
yeah,
1986
Showdown,
or whatever it's been revamped to now for the second version of it.
So kind of that idea of you going in with gear that you have gotten over many runs. If you and your team make it out at the end of the run, you get to keep all the gear you have on you and that you've collected. If you don't, all that stuff gets left behind. So it's that kind of high risk reward, or the thing of like, okay, I've got all this great stuff. Am I going to keep it, or am I going to bring it in with me to try and do a little bit better than everybody else? That sort of thing. But there's also, I think in the alpha there are 4 characters to play as. I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's a hero shooter. I mean, not kind of, but not really. Like, everybody uses the same guns and equipment and stuff. It's just, what's your kind of skill loadout going to be? I played as Blackbird, who's your kind of recon unit. So you have a little spider robot that you can throw out, and it'll seek out enemies and explode on them and do a little bit of damage and do some overheat damage to their stamina bar, essentially. And they have a kind of a very long cooldown on their prime skill, which is kind of their primary skill that does a multiple pings around you in an area and automatically highlights enemy units. So that's why I wanted to play as them, to kind of get I like being the kind of recon intel unit. Tutorial was really good. It was pretty short. It was, I don't know, maybe a minute or 2 long. Basically, like, here's how you open up your menu, here's how you loot things, here's how you open stuff up, and here's how you shoot some enemies down. And then right after that, you pick there's some sort of longer term goals in the game, like you're working with some corporations, and they're giving you missions in between. Uh, uh, they're like quests you do in between missions, and the first one you get is like loot 5 containers and activate your prime ability. And once you do that, you get a whole bunch of like reputation for that corporation, and you can buy some upgrades and stuff like that. They have said already all of those upgrades get wiped every season. So this isn't like everybody starts at 0 every single season. So this isn't if this isn't Destiny. Let's just put it that way. Like you're not investing in your character long term. You're kind of resetting and working back through that stuff every season. And then I had hopped into, once I accepted all that stuff and kind of got a quick tutorial on the menu, hopped into a match. They matched me with 2 other people that looked like they were at my same skill level, and we played a game. We did manage to get what they called a flawless run, where all 3 of us exfiltrated at the end, which felt pretty good. I think the thing that struck me the most, there's a couple of things that really struck me about this alpha. One is, I think the style is outstanding. I don't think, they've shown this game off a bunch, and I don't think there's another game out here that looks half as interesting as Marathon does. And I think it's really refreshing to see that extend to so much of the world inside the game too, not just the menus, but also the maps when you're wandering around. I think the interior stuff looks just as strong as a lot of the stuff that they've been showing off. The outside stuff when you're wandering around, I think doesn't look nearly as strong, but again, it's an alpha. They've been really honest saying like all the characters aren't in here, all the maps aren't in here. The graphics are not nearly as done as they want them to be, and they're making changes very quickly. Like they're pushing out a change today to matchmaking. They're pushing out a change next week to remove aim assist on mouse and keyboard, which seems like that will be a pretty positive choice for a lot of people. I did play with mouse and keyboard. I didn't play with controller. It does have controller support though. I also did play on PC. They were supposed to get me a PS5 key, and they gave me a PC key, which that's fine. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
I think the thing that was surprising to me is how much more of a PvE game it was than a PvP game. Because going into it, I thought it was going to be like Apex Legends, where it's groups of, they call them runners in this game. So groups of runners versus other groups of runners, like it's the 3v3 thing like you see in Apex. And it really wasn't. The first match I played, you get 30 minutes in a match before the match ends. Like you have to get in and get your stuff in exfil before the time runs out. We only fought one other squad in that 30 minutes. And I think there's 5 or 6 squads of 3 on a map. And those are the only ones we ran into, and those are the only ones we heard. Because you can hear pretty far. So I think that made me feel a little bit better about the game, because as cool as Marathon looks, and as much as I like Destiny, as much as I like how Bungie makes shooters, it kind of isn't, the PvP side of it was the thing I was most worried about with something like Tarkov, with something like the extraction shooters. So for it to have a much more of a PvE focus was a pretty big surprise. And I almost got worked really hard immediately. The PvE robots that you're fighting are no joke. They are out for blood, and they're going to take you down really quickly if you're not paying attention. I thought it was gonna be like, look at these robots, pew pew pew. Oh, look at this loot I got. But they are coming at you, and they are serious.
Just turn the bot setting down. Take it down from 9 to 5.
If only, man. But like that was, I think for me, I was pretty happy with that, because I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, here's some like cannon fodder we're gonna run into, and like you put 2 shots in them and they drop 30 bullets of loot. You know, like I thought that was gonna be the how you kind of farm loot, but they are pretty serious in a way that I was surprised by, and I think that made me feel better about the game overall. And we managed to kill the other squad we ran into. I totally got baited. I knocked one of the enemy players down, and one of my skills as Blackbird was whenever you knock an enemy and they start crawling away, they leave footprints behind, so you can kind of see the direction they're going into, and it stops after a while, so you can only kind of see the direction they're going into. I knocked an enemy, they crawled off, and they kind of like went off like down a ladder and went to another area. I brought one of my teammates back up, and I went to go follow them, and I saw, oh, okay, there's a doorway over here. I bet they went, through this doorway and around. I followed the footsteps. I took a left to go to the doorway, and immediately got shotgunned in the face by their other teammate, who was letting them just lay there and bring me to them. And I was like, all right, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good play by you. I give you a lot of credit. But we took them out. We revived everybody in our group, and we made it to the exfil point, and we made it out with a whole bunch of stuff. And I got a whole bunch of rep that lets me now purchase, using things that I'm scavenging in matches and bringing back. I can now purchase, like, my backpack can get bigger. My vault, where you're storing stuff in between runs, can get bigger. That sort of stuff. So it seems cool. I only played that one match. That's all I really had time for. The alpha runs for another couple days, so I'll probably try and see if I can put another couple matches in. There is matchmaking. There is also a solo mode that you can go to. I don't think I will ever do that because of how hard this game is at this point. I think you're probably a madman if you're going to go into this thing solo. I don't know how you'd be able to do that.
I'm sure if you grind out enough gear and matchmaking, you would be able to set yourself up.
Yeah, maybe
to try a solo run.
I mean,
yeah.
Hopefully, if it's solo, it's other people's solo.
Absolutely.
Like,
not.
hopefully, no.
Yeah.
Nope. No, they're telling you in the game, like, solo, you're matched with other trios. So, like, if you want to go do solo, you can do that, but you're at a disadvantage, and you need to know that going in. And the bots...
I kind of figured, solo was going to be either everyone's solo, or it was just going to be you and a bunch of bots.
Nope. Okay. And they say, like, the bots are not easier, the world and the game is not easier. Like, you are setting yourself up at a disadvantage. And, like...
For the true tryhards.
Yeah, like, if you're going to be the sweatiest player and you can do that match over match, like... cool, man, like, go do that, but like that's not for me. So I'm glad I had a chance to play this, because my knee-jerk reaction to this when Bungie started showing it off was, stylistically this looks really cool, and I'm sure it plays really well because it's a Bungie shooter, but I'm not sure that, like, an extraction shooter is really for me. And playing it, I think I can see the appeal a lot more, because especially with it having much more of a PvE focus, my initial question was like, well, why wouldn't I just go play Apex Legends, a game that I am bad at, but I know how to play and I know I can enjoy? Like, why should I play this kind of, like, seemingly more hardcore version of it? And now I kind of get it. I do still have some concerns though about matches being long. I mean, 30 minutes for a match. I'm sure I can, if I'm in a squad where I'm just playing with randos like I was, I could probably get in, spend 5-10 minutes scooping up a whole bunch of stuff in the exfil. But I feel like personally I wouldn't really want to, because I'd be setting up my two teammates to fail, because it's just going to get harder for them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And I like that tension. Like, I really liked the kind of, we need to make it out or I'm going to lose all of this stuff that I have tension. But I'm not, is that the thing I'm going to look for regularly from a game like this? I'm not sure if I want to play every match with that super high tension. So, and also, this game is not going to be free to play. They haven't announced a price. They said it's not going to be $70, so I'm assuming it's going to be 40. But
yeah, I was just looking at that too, because they said it's going to be a premium game, but it's not going to be full price. And so,
right.
Okay, so that puts it around
That's
40 to 50 bucks.
Yeah, let's be honest, that's probably 40, which is fine, but I think that's kind of concerning from a standpoint of, if I'm going to try and get a bunch of people to play with it, like my Thursday night crew, any people that play on Friday nights, any other people from the community, that's a bigger ask of saying, like, it's only $40 and then let's get into this thing. That's still, that's kind of a... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say, especially since after we've been comparing it to things like PUBG.
Right.
Like, the other free-to-play... like Apex,
right.
Is
Tarkov
Warzone
free?
And all that stuff.
I don't even
No,
remember.
Tarkov you do have to pay for. Okay.
Same for Showdown.
Yeah, but
sure,
we have
right.
all these other free solutions that are pretty much this. So what's going to make this worth the price for it?
Yeah, and
but who knows? Maybe it will. Yeah,
and I feel like part of the complaints that I've seen from people that do like extraction shooters, like they're hardcore Tarkov players, they go into this and they say, well, it's a little bit too easy. It's kind of not as hardcore as something like Tarkov is. And I think that's okay, because I think I would like to see more options and kind of more difficulty options for a genre like this that so far has only been, well, you've got Tarkov and you've got Hunt Showdown. And everybody forgets that Hunt Showdown is an extraction shooter. It's nice to see like a kind of AAA version of this, and kind of like a higher end version of this that seems a bit more approachable. But I think if this was a free game, I'd probably be willing to stick with it for like the first season or so and like really give it the old college try to see if I like it. But if it's gonna be like a premium price product, as they're calling it, to get my alliteration there, I don't know if that's gonna be me hopping in day one to check this out. So it seems super cool. I think if you like extraction shooters, I think it seems really cool. If you've been interested in an extraction shooter like I have been, but Tarkov is a terrifying prospect, then
well, and there's some weird stuff with that studio, which is why I never bought Tarkov.
Yeah, and also like that studio cannot get their game from the outside looking in. They can't get their game stable at any point of like, oh, well, we had to do another wipe because there was this thing, and we had to do another wipe because there's a season, and we had to do this and that and the other thing. So I think one of the things that maybe helps a little bit with Marathon is you do have Bungie, you do have Sony behind this, of kind of being able to pump a bunch of cash into this and maybe focus on that stability, focus on that kind of season over season gameplay, and hopefully that will mean maybe every season we get some maps, at least one map. Maybe every once in a while we're getting a new character to play as, that sort of thing, and we'll see where that goes. But I'm glad I tried it. I think you can still apply to get into the alpha from their Discord server.
Yes, you can. I actually looked that up too.
Okay, so you can try to run kind of roll the dice here in the alpha. They have said they're going to do a beta in the future. Hopefully, that beta will be more available. They've been, I have to give them a lot of credit. They have been really honest about the alpha, saying like, look, the servers are going to break. Like, we're stress testing the servers. They have broken already, and they're just like, yep, okay, gotta fix them. We'll be back later. And the game is not. This isn't one of those like alpha wink, and it's just like a playable demo. It's like, no, this game, they're still cooking with this game. It's still in the oven at the moment. So,
yeah,
I'll probably try it again during the beta. I'll see if I can get into some matches if I can time wise, but have this being a 30-minute kind of tense thing isn't really conducive to being like a stay-at-home dad in general. So that's kind of a ongoing concern that playing this didn't.
What are you talking about? Drop your kid off at school, turn on the crock pot when you get home, and then you have all that time.
That's right.
Washing machine takes about an hour, so that's 2 games right there.
See, you got it all figured out. Yeah. So like, I don't. Go ahead, man.
It feels like this like genre of games was specifically designed for streamers.
Yeah.
Like this is, if you have the time to put in the amount of time it takes to get very, very good at this kind of thing, it feels like this is a hell of a game type to play.
Well, and you have like your dedicated squad of 3, and you're playing X number of days per week for 8 hours at a time. Like that seems, or like maybe you don't have your dedicated group of 3, but you have 10 people that are all friends that are playing that might be on, and you're kind of like pulling people in and out as they drop in and out. Like that seems like a really good experience for this game. But if you don't have that, if you're playing with randos that are maybe working on different quests for different corporations than you are, like it seems like a bit of a bigger hurdle to climb, really.
Yep.
So,
and Ferro in chat did ask about the Rainbow Six version of these. It's Rainbow Six Extraction, which, despite the name, is not actually an extraction shooter. It's Rainbow Six PvE. Essentially,
isn't Extraction the zombie-ish mode?
Yeah, that's their like mission-based zombie sort of thing. Yeah,
I never had a chance to play that.
Aliens. Aliens,
they're aliens
guys.
in that one. Yes, right. A wink.
It's really good.
Yeah,
I really love that game. That game is fantastic.
I remember you talking about it, but I just never had a chance to ever check it out.
But you're right. Like contrary to its name,
you can get it on sale for like $4.
Yeah, but like contrary to its name, it is not an extraction shooter. Which I'm surprised they haven't done that with Rainbow Six yet.
They probably built one and canceled it at some point, dude.
Well, they did it with
The Division.
Thank you. Yeah, all I could think of was Outbreak. And
The
I'm like, what is the name of the actual game?
Extraction.
It's true.
Yes.
Yeah. The dark zones and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
True.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, I'm probably not going to be your source of marathon news here. I wasn't expecting this to be like the Destiny killer, especially as we're going to see new Destiny stuff here in about 2 weeks. But to be fair, Bungie hasn't really set it up to be that. But I don't know if this is gonna be the thing that I'm gonna hang out with.
Let's say maybe this will just be your bounce off, where it's like, hey, just finished the last season of Destiny. Let me bump into marathon to keep my skills up a little bit, kind of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that might be something I might check it out for, or like, oh, this will be the thing that, the Thursday night Destiny crew plays every once in a while. But, like, again, that $40... the premium price that they will be asking for the game. I don't want to say it's $40 and mislead anybody. That's still a big hurdle for a lot of these games that, we're playing. Like, we're playing, Lethal Company, Repo. Those are $5-10 games. That's a much easier... ask to say, all right, we're all going to spend $5. We'll play it maybe if we played a couple weeks, great, we got our $5 worth. We play it for a couple of months, great, we got, this game was a real steal.
Look, for $40, you too could be the proud owner of Vampire Survivors and 800 hours of content.
Right. And then $35 to buy something else too.
Yeah.
So that's the Marathon Alpha. I had a lot of fun with it. You tune in the future to see if I play more of it. We'll have to see what they keep. I'm keeping a real close eye on it. I initially was keeping a real close eye on it to see if they had emblems and see if I had to spin up another website. They don't. But you know,
Your obsession is real.
Yeah, that's right. But we'll see if they. You know, I'm keeping a close eye on it just to see what they keep showing of this. And you know, we'll talk about it as it keeps unfolding. Next game here, Blueprints. I have found room 46. I have seen the credits for the game. I was controller twisting mad as I was getting up to the ending of this game, but wasn't giving the game enough credit, and I should have, that I needed to remember that so many of the things in this game, as you go do something, as you sort of solve kind of like room-based puzzles, there's like one of the early examples was the boiler room. You're kind of doing this like steam and pipes puzzle. Once you solve that puzzle, the boiler room stays solved forever until you go in there, and you can still change it around if you need to, but like that room is solved. If you drain a bunch of water out of the pool stays drained. So the entire mansion doesn't get wiped. These rooms do stay static. I should have realized that some of that applied to things near the end of the game too, because I got to the point where I could finish the game, and I was literally 3 rooms away from the ending, and I ran out of steps. And I was like, why? I did all of the things to get to the ending. Why would you do this to me? Like, I was so frustrated that this was a thing that the game allowed me to do, like kind of paint myself into a corner like that. But then I did another couple runs and realized, oh, because of all this other stuff that I've done that I don't want to spoil, I can get to the ending way faster now. So the next time I want to go try to get to room 46, I've knocked down a bunch of impediments in my way, and now I can just get there faster. So that made me feel way, way better about like, oh, okay, I should have given the game a little bit more credit because it had showed me across all these other runs that I was sort of, I had sort of worked towards that in a much smoother way. So I did finish that. Super minor spoilers, but you can probably figure this out. Once I went into room 46, a whole bunch of extra stuff opened up in this game, like all these puzzle games love to do. So I have like 5 or 6 additional pages in my little notebook of you know, honkers bonkers notes here that only make sense to me. Now I have a whole bunch of other really giant puzzles. Yeah, like it's no one should look at my notebook. It's embarrassing. So like, but that's kind of exciting because I am really, really still enjoying this game, and with the puzzles that they've given me sort of post game, I feel like I was leaning towards a couple of them being like, oh man, there's got to be some, if I do X, Y, and Z, it's got to do something, right? Or like, if I handle this room in this specific way, it's got to do something, right? And I think they've sort of nudged me a little bit further, saying like, maybe you should go do that. I bet it does something. I was like, okay, all right. I'll just add a bunch more stuff to my checklist of things to do. So still really loving it. I wish I could talk more about it, but I'm in super spoiler territory, and I will just remind people that this game is on Game Pass and PS Plus. So you could just go check it out if all of this sounds really good to you, and just go try it out, because I think this is one of my favorite games of the year with a bullet at this point. ironically, because this game doesn't have any bullets at all.
Yep.
But yeah, Blueprints is really great. This is the thing where I'm sitting down, I'm being like, I could just play a little bit of Blueprint. I could do one more run, right? I could just one more day. Let's see what I can get into. I have so many puzzles to solve in my little notebook. Maybe I could just solve one more, right? And then that
just a little puzzle. Little puzzle before bed.
Just a little guy. No big deal. So that's really great. I'm still really enjoying Blueprints. Last game I have here, brand new game, Forza Horizon 5. Brand new hot title you've never heard of.
Yep.
That came out on the PS5. So that it comes out next week, but I bought the Suckers edition because I like all of the DLC for it. So I got early access to it.
Well, is it really the Suckers edition if you like it that much? I don't think so.
Well, look, it's $100, but you get the
so 70 for the game, and then 30 for what, 2 or 3 pieces of DLC, which are probably like $20 each.
Like that.
Yeah, that's $70 for a game is still so wild. But yeah, it comes with the comes with early access, comes with the Hot Wheels and the Rally DLC, both of which I like. The Hot Wheels DLC is really good. And the Rally DLC, I'll try to finish this time. It also comes with like VIP car packs and 4 different car packs with 20 cars each and all this other stuff. So to me, it's one of those things where it's like, I was going to buy that edition anyways because Forza Horizon 5 is one of my favorite racing games of all time. And I get a whole bunch of bonuses for it. Stuff, like you said, I was going to buy anyway. I am here to say it's Forza Horizon 5. And it runs really well. And it is, in all regards, the same game. So, which is kind of all it needs to be. Ran into a weird thing here at the beginning. I don't remember if the series consoles does this, but on PS4 and PS5, you're basically set your preferred graphics setting at the OS level. And so you're basically picking, do you want performance, do you want quality, do you want balanced? And games are supposed to respect that when they first fire up. So I always have mine on performance because I don't care what my resolution is, but I do care for that sweet 60 to 120 frames. This is one of the few games I played that didn't respect that, which is a little odd, but it doesn't matter because before you start up the game, you can just go through the settings anyways. So like that, it's the smallest complaint. I do have to say, having the PS5's SSD speed being significantly faster than the Series X's speed makes a huge difference for this game, especially when you're looking at doing fast travel stuff. That stuff is way faster, in a way that on Series console I wasn't gonna not do it just because it can sometimes take a couple seconds, but having it be, it's not instantaneous, but having it take maybe 2 seconds feels really good. And
look at where we are in this world, where we grew up with like 5-minute long load screens
GTA
back
3
in the day,
taking minutes to load.
And now we're like 2 seconds. Like,
well,
what are you people even doing?
I don't even have it on the fast SSD. So like the thumb for these drives is the PS5's internal SSD is about 2 times as fast as the Series console's SSD. The additional SSD I put into my PS5 is about 2 times faster than the built-in SSD. So that should be even faster. But this game is like 170 gigs. So it's sort of like, okay, which of my 2 hard drives has space right now? Okay, it'll go on the one that has space. There's some weirdness otherwise in here. The very first thing you have to do when you fire up this game is you sign into your Microsoft account, which should be no surprise to any Microsoft game at this point. That was a super smooth experience, as it always is with Microsoft accounts. You hold your camera up to the QR code, you log in, You accept.
Oh,
like,
it uses the QR code version as well. That's even better. I love that version.
Yeah,
of,
it
like,
also has.
Thank you as well, like video streaming services for
Yes.
doing this, where it's just like, yeah, give me a QR code on my television that I can, register from the couch.
So you actually only get two options. One is the QR code. The other one is go to this link and put in this code. You don't have an option to type in your username and password on your PS5, which is great because everybody's password should be unbearably long at this point.
Yeah.
Did that, accepted like 4 terms of service to just like get the yes, I accept, yes, okay, yep, sure, okay, let's go, yep, that whole thing.
Okay, so what? Xbox Live,
it was like
Microsoft Store,
and there was like an online,
and probably some version of like the Sony version of that. Probably
something about overdraft fees as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I accepted all of that. It let me in. The weirdest thing though is when you start the game, and it starts exactly the same as it did. It's the exact same game. Once you start like smashing boards and doing PR stunts and discovering roads and all of that stuff, my position on the leaderboard for all of those things is my Microsoft account's highest position on the leaderboard. So I smashed.
Okay, so if you got 400 on the Xbox version, you're currently at 400 still, because on the PlayStation version you only have 2.
Right. So like I smashed my first like XP board and was like, congratulations, you get a trophy for smashing your first board. And it comes up and says 250 boards. You're like on the top 3% of the leaderboard. And I was like, huh? What? But I don't have the trophy for smashing all of them because I haven't smashed all of them on the PS5. So like that's a little bit weird. Like I kind of like
Listen, dude, as the achievement hunter in this group, don't even get me started on cross achievements. Like,
that's a nightmare. Like I don't want that to happen at all. I kind of want to go back through and like earn all the achievements or all the trophies. I don't want to earn the one for like smashing the 500 cacti in the wet season, which I'm working on right now because it's a nightmare. I'm glad I remembered that one.
Dude, some of those signs just sucked.
Some of those signs do suck. Dude. But like I did the
some of them you also need to progress like the side stories so you can get like the bonus ramps and stuff that start showing up after you've completed certain side stories.
But if you don't know that and you try to launch yourself off the closest hill for the longest time,
I don't even have street races unlocked. Like I'm at the beginning. But what's kind of neat though is I did the there's that abandoned airstrip that has that really big PR stunt jump at the end of it. I jumped that and said like, all right, you got 900 feet. Great job. And it popped up and said, your maximum for this is like 2,700 feet. I was like, that's pretty cool. And also, how the hell did I do that on the Xbox? I'm going to have to try to do that again. So I kind of like that.
It's called a supercar.
That's right.
You know, say that electric one that gets you like 0 to 60 in like half a second.
So like, I kind of like that, being able to see like, oh, I did this jump and I beat my jump by 2,000 feet at some point. So I kind of like that. That's kind of neat. They still have the per season challenges in the game where it's like the one they have right now is like the origins of the hot hatch by the 1983 VW Golf TI, and that's the first thing. And then go race it in a street race, which I can't do because I don't have street races open yet. So they have that stuff back. One new thing they have in this, and that should be available in the Xbox and PC version as well, if not now, then shortly, is Horizon Realms. And I haven't messed around with this too much, but that's their answer to the seasonal activities they had that would rotate every once in a while. Like the Cinco de Mayo, the Halloween, the Christmas, the Lunar New Year, all that stuff. Now those are available from a menu where you can say, okay, I want to activate the Lunar New Year stuff, and that stuff will show up on the map and it'll say, okay, Lunar New Year is active now, you can just go do that stuff without having to wait however many months that would have to be for it to show up in the game naturally. As they said, when they announced this version, they said that there's all those accolades in the game. If anyone hasn't played it, accolades are basically like in-game achievements for...
They are the hilariously terrible punny ones usually as well.
Yeah, and there's hundreds of them. And there's a bunch of in-game accolades for doing activities during those seasonal events. And the community apparently was rightly sort of complaining, saying like, I would like to finish up these accolades because maybe these are the last 5 ones I have. I don't want to wait 8 more months to just finish up 2 or 3 accolades. So that's the system they put in all versions to go do that stuff now.
Cool.
What else is... I think that's...
Do they do anything with the haptic feedback on the triggers?
No, which is surprising. I was kind of... The rumble is in there, but it's not the kind of better rumble. Okay. And there's no like haptic trigger stuff, which I thought was kind of surprising. They don't even do... Oh my god, what's your sat-nav GPS lady that's in the game?
Oh, I don't know her name.
Anna.
Yes,
they don't even have Anna talk to you through the controller speaker. So it's like, that's the only bummer I've run into, is sort of the game doesn't really seem to take advantage of the PS5's controller. They do
if this is a dev cost efficiency thing where they're like, well, it's an older game, why would we put a bunch of dev time into doing this?
It does have PS5 Pro support of some way, but I'm not a Rockefeller, so I can't afford a $700 console, so I don't know what that is. The only other thing, I'm glad I wrote a note about this. I had my kid loves this game. To quote, she says, I love going fast, so I love this game, end quote.
Kid's gonna go places.
That's right. She was there while I was creating my character, and there are way more customization options in this game now than there were before. There's a bunch of prosthetics, like prosthetic arms and legs.
Okay.
You can put hearing aids on your character. You get to choose which pronouns you have. There were he, him, she, her, and they, them were the 3 options, which is great. And then there are 2 voice options that you can pick regardless of which pronouns you pick. So no matter what pronouns you pick, you can pick either of the voice options, and they call them like voice option A or B. It's largely like masculine and feminine kind of coded voices.
Yeah.
But I like that they don't call it masculine and feminine, and they don't tie it to your chosen pronouns. So like you can set your body style to be whatever you want, and you can like set your character exactly how you want them to be, which is really great. And we're starting to see that in more games, but I feel like racing games
Forza Horizon 5 has gone the same route as the Oblivion remastered and gone quote unquote woke.
That's
again.
right, which means I will support it.
I don't even remember what my character looks like, because as soon as I unlock the crash test dummy costume, like that's all my character's ever worn.
Yeah. So it's really nice to see
chicken soup for me.
Yes. It's really nice to see more games lean so much into representation, not just the pronouns and the voice options and stuff, but also the prosthetics and putting in more options for what people look like. And it's especially surprising in a racing game where, like you're just saying, I don't see my driver a lot. Every once in a while you'll see it in the like shut up driving parts where it's like, hey man,
it's mostly the side story stuff, to be honest, when you're interacting with like the sponsored content kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I forgot you do see it during barn finds, but there's only 12, 14 of those. And you
is this one with like the sightseeing ones where you have the person doing the jig at the top of like a waterfall while you scan the waterfall, or was that the last one?
This one, or was it 4? I don't remember. I'll find out, because part of the reason why I like this game is I can just play it a little bit, and I haven't even unlocked all of the like festival sites, and I already have a whole bunch of icons on my map to go do. So like when I fire up this game, there's always something for me to do other than come to a screeching halt in the open world and say, okay, this looks like a road that's going to be really annoying once I get over 400 discovered roads. I need to go down this little dirt road that's like 5 pixels wide that has like a hook on it. I'm going to go discover this road now so I don't have to, squint at my TV 6 inches away with all the icons off and be like, is that? Oh man, did I discover that road?
I need to fix that.
White line shaded a little bit different? I don't know, man. I'm discovering all that stuff now. Like I'm knocking that stuff out right here before it gets super annoying. But yeah, it's Forza Horizon 5, and it seems to run really great. I haven't had any problems with it. It looks just as great. The only difference I think graphically is the PS5 doesn't support Dolby Vision, which the Series X does, and probably the Series S, I guess. So you don't get that kind of like richer color profile that you do on the Series consoles, but it's fine because this game still looks really incredible. So
yep,
it's Forza Horizon 5. Get ready to hear me talking about that for the next forever, because
fine by me. I did the same thing with 4 recently while I was trying to get the last achievements in that before it got shut down. So you're absolutely fine.
Speaking of, there is one annoying trophy in this, and that is to win an eliminator match. Is still there from the Xbox One, and I have decided I'm just gonna every once in a while I'm just gonna go do an eliminator match. I'll do one because they're incredibly frustrating. My first match, I got to the final 6, and nobody had challenged me, and I was like, all right, maybe this could be the time. I got super smoked because when you're the last 6 people, it just starts a point-to-point race of like, get over here 7 miles away, just whoever gets over there wins.
It's usually the opposite side of the map, yes.
Yeah, I was like 5 miles away from the finish line, and someone finished. I was like, okay, wasn't even in the running for that one. All right, that's fair enough.
You know what my second to last achievement on Forza Horizon 5 was?
Is it that one?
It's chicken dinner. It's literally, I have the full base 1000 in Forza Horizon 5. I uninstalled it after that because I was done with that game after that point. But my second to last was like literally, it was chicken dinner, and then I had one stupid little playlist thing that I needed to do.
Sure.
But
I'm going to try and see if I can.
Chicken dinner was the one. It was the one that like...
I'd love to get the platinum, but like it's not going to be something that I'm going to stress about really, because like eliminator is a cool idea and it's fun, but people that are playing it are way too good, like way too good at that thing, and I can't compete. So that's Forza Horizon 5.
That attitude.
Yeah, I mean, I have a quitter's attitude. I'm fine. I'll quit about it.
Just before you move on from Forza Horizon 5, do you want some really bad puns? 3 of the choicest.
Yes. Oh yeah, from the accolades. Yeah.
Yes. Cars don't fly, which is to perform a very big jump in a specific car, referencing a specific movie. Go check out Critical Misses.
That's right.
There is much wow, such distance, which is to do a danger sign in a specific car as well. My personal favorite, lose the skill chain worth at least 250,000 points in the AMG Transport Dynamics M112S Warthog, which means you know what car that is. And that accolade is the Prophet of Regret.
Incredible. Yeah, like when we're saying there's hundreds of accolades, all of them is a pun too. Like the title of all of them are puns. So it's hundreds and hundreds of cheesy puns that pop up, and you're like, oh boy. Yeah, much like the Outcast.
Yep.
But yeah, that's Forza Horizon 5. It's still Forza Horizon 5. It's great. If you haven't played it, because you don't have a gaming PC or you don't have a Series console, pick it up. It's one of the best racing games of all time. And it's here on your PS5. All right, that's all I've been playing. Let's take a break.
Yep. Dude, there's a Lovebug accolade. There's a my initial is D accolade for literally drifting in that car.
Great. Oh my god, when it fired up and I collected my first like set of cars just for going through the tutorial.
It went on for so long because it started saying all of the other ones you got.
No, you have to like go manually redeem those, which I really appreciate. But the game is like, congratulations, you have 5 cars out of 900. I was like, oh, that's right. That happened. Sheesh.
Yep. Yes, it did.
All right. Are you guys ready to wrap this up? Also, Risen Sparrow in chat asks, have you all played Brotato? We did a We Roguelike It season about it. Not too long ago, actually. So go check that out. Okay, now are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of April 28th, 2025. Forza Horizon 5 comes out on PS5.
Wait a minute.
You might have heard us talking about that literally 35 seconds ago.
From the future.
That's right. That's right. So go check that out. Next up, Fragpunk comes out on PS5 and series consoles. We talked about this a couple of months ago, where it's the kind of team-based shooter that has the cards.
Oh, the card system.
Yeah. It seems like it has kind of a dedicated fan base that seems to really like it. I don't think it has really taken off too much yet, but hopefully someday. I'd hate to see like any game fail, but this is
but the problem is it's a 5v5 hero shooter.
Yeah, it's a packed. I mean, Marvel Heroes was it's kind of a miracle that any other game was able to become successful, but I don't think Fragpunk, not Frag Punch, has really gotten there yet. So that's coming out on consoles this week. We'll see if it can keep expanding its player base there. Despelote, I should have looked up the pronunciation of this. Comes out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series Console, Switch, and PC. We talked about this during the IGF Awards, where it got one of the audio design awards. They say this is a first-person exploration game about the universal language of soccer and the ways it can bring people together or push them apart. This is supposed to be really, really great. If you haven't watched a trailer for this game, you really should. It has a really unique art style. And I'm hoping we can get to playing this on Game Club in the future, because this seems like something that we should check out on that show. People really seem to love it. So I'm glad that it's coming out on other platforms, because I think it was only available on PC for a while. So it'll be available on things you play at this point. So go check that out. We do have Peglin coming out PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series consoles. We played
roguelike it.
Yeah, speaking of We Roguelike It, we played this recently on We Roguelike It and liked it quite a bit. This is a Peggle roguelike, a pachinko, a plinko roguelike that I enjoyed way more than I was expecting to. I'll probably pick this up on PS5 when it comes out, because this is another really good, like, I'm just sort of looking for something to play. And
I got 20 minutes. Yeah.
So Peglin's really great. I had a lot of fun with that when we played it. You should pick it up and go listen to the We Roguelike It episodes as well.
Yes.
And last but certainly not least, just kind of coming out of nowhere, but also being the worst kept secret, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster coming out on PS5, Series consoles, and PC. It looks really great, and from everything I've heard from people around the internet and those that are playing it in our Discord server, apparently it is still exactly as broken as you want an Elder Scrolls game to be. So,
yep.
I think they actually managed to nail it, which is great.
And it's got UE5 in it as well.
It does, yeah. It's UE5 this time, which is bananas. I don't know
Good.
which version of UE5.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love the creation engine. The creation engine is incredible and broken in so many different ways that it's great, but good.
Yeah, and it looks really great. So, I have never played Oblivion. I'm not sure.
What? Really?
Yeah, I never played.
This. It might be the time. It might be the time.
Yeah.
I gotta play AC Shadows though.
Oh yeah, wait for it to go on sale.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like if there's ever a time to check out Oblivion, it probably is with a brand new version that seems like it works just fine. So that's out right now. All right, that's all of our releases for this week, and I am not feeling well enough to get any news stories, which means that's going to be the end of our episode. We have another really great imbalanced episode of we're actually playing a bunch of stuff this week, and then there's only a couple of releases.
Yep.
If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Was just mentioning the Discord server. Join us discord.tvgp.tv. We do have the best community on the internet, and that's the best way to chat and play stuff alongside of them. Hit us up at Patreon. Patreon.com/E1M1 or E1M1.cash.
Those ones on numbers.
$5 a month is the recommended tier. That gets you everything. Anything above and beyond that for your rich friends is greatly appreciated. If you can't support us financially, please like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. We have a video version.
Support us orally.
That's right. We do have a video version of every show that hits the public feed over there. Rate us and review us positively on whatever podcatcher of choice. That does help us with the algorithm. And I think that's everything. So let's go before I lose my voice. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
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 Okie dokie. What are your titles, Nimp?
I have voice actor A. Yes, it takes you to Narnia. Our neighborhood chaos agent. You don't tug on Superman's cape. So nowhere is safe. Would you still love me if I was a worm? I totally got baited. And I have a quitter's attitude.
I do. Moon, what do you have?
The Crunchers, the Goth Lockers, the Neighborhood Chaos Agent, Serpentine Motions, Is This a Roguelike, The Gift of Foresight, So Many Circles, Go Tank Mode, Grimace with Golden Armor, Speedrun the Shinbaku, Turn the Bot Settings Down, and From the Future.
I have Delicious Crunches, The Locker, Oh, Narnia, Is This a Roguelike, I Have So Many Circles, Grimace with Golden Armor, and Neighborhood Chaos Agent. We have a lot of really good titles this week.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning...
It's Grimace.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Grimace.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Circling.
And I'm ready to go.
Dang.
Yep. Same.
Go.
Dang.
First day back.
All right.
Woo.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 914 for April 28th, 2025. Grimace with Golden Armor.
Praise the sunrise breakfast deals.
And he does have a shake to go with that Grimace.
Oh, God. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go lay down. We'll see you next week. Bye.